Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're discussing the Jaeger-LeCouultre AMVOX3 Tourbillon GMT, the third in the Amvox family inspired by Jaeger instruments provided to Aston Martin cars. This Tourbillon GMT was also the first circular ceramic case Jaeger-LeCoultre. You can see and purchase this limited series of 300 in ceramic and rose gold on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch, with additional accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this Amvox3 Tourbillon GMT. Now, the watch you see on my wrist continued the design language of the Amvox 1 and 2. Namely, let's take the look of a vintage Jaeger tachometer, clock, or speedometer from an Aston Martin car and transpose it onto a watch, effectively executed with the Alarm Amvox 1, taken to the next level with greater dial depth and differentiation with the Amvox 2. It reached its apex with the Amvox 3. Although there was a 5 and then later a 7, the soaring heights of finish and complication achieved on the Tourbillon GMT would not be revisited again before the series terminated in 2015. Now, this was the high water mark, and I feel in many ways it's the most attractive of the Tourbillon GMT models. The Amvox 3 in platinum and ceramic is almost a little bit indistinct. Now, here you can see the sharp 44mm case, identical in size and proportions to the Amvox 2. If you can wear that, you can wear this. In terms of thickness, it's about 15.4mm, but there's a little bit of a lip to the edge, so you can wear it with most sleeves. Any jacket should be fine. Most formal cuffs should be okay. The absolute tightest of the tight, well, frankly, if you're that tightly wound, this may not be the watch for you. From lug to lug, 50.8mm, which means that even though my wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, I can and do wear my identically sized Amvox 2 with great comfort and security, as well as good proportion. My estimate is down to 14.5, perhaps 14 centimeters in circumference. You're going to wear this watch easily. In full ceramic, even with the gold garnishing, it's a very light watch on the wrist, refreshing and wieldy. It's paired with a very substantial strap. Now, the first Amvox 1 and Amvox 2 straps were rather spare. They were made of bridge of weir leather, which was handsome, evocative, and soft, but wore rather badly and quickly aged in a watch application, better suited to a car. That strap material gave way to this compound textile and leather strap on the DBS and then the Amvox 3. You can see the perforations and the contrasting stitch are evocative of vintage upholstery, driving gloves, steering wheels, what have you, with textile that's rather reminiscent of modern Nomex racing suits. The combination of the two is thick-cut, sturdy, and handsome, and it has a soft calfskin on the bottom, so you're not losing that souplesse. Completely unconstrained, they're not pinned against the case flank, so you do have the ability to pull the strap down around the tight curve of a smaller wrist. You have a friend indeed in the clasp, which is both substantial for insurance against droppage while donning or removing at bedside, and nicely arched. You can see the clasp body actually curves to match the soft arc of your bottom wrist. So this is ergonomically designed in addition to being quite secure and beautifully made with contrasting satin and polished finish. Now, the case is all of ceramic, JLC's first round ceramic case, but it features sharp character lines and contrast, and you can see it to best advantage here. Matte finish on the flanks, matte finish on the lug hood, polished and razor-sharp bevel in between. Nice. More detail on the flank. You can see the swell at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock to break up the monolithic mass of black material. 2001, this is not. It was a 2008 series. See, I can make jokes too. Now, the watch also features a great deal of attention to detail in the manufacture and specification of the crystal. The watch features a sheer cut lip and a box section about its sapphire flanks, and then a dramatic domed camber about its top. The combination of the two features both difficult and expensive to manufacture. It's one of the undersold highlights of this series. Now, you can see the dial is very much in keeping with the language established by the Amvox 1 and 2, looking like a dashboard instrument and calibrated through only 270 degrees, with the bottom 90 degrees blank, as you would see on, for instance, a speedometer. Different planes, different textures, different colors, different materials. All of the numerals feature a font originally used on Aston Martin dashboards, and you'll note that they are lightly luminescent with the black variant of Luminova. Far more legible in low light are the minute and hour hands, which glow like torches. Red gold, they beautifully complement the Tourbillon bridge at 6 o'clock, and you can see a beautiful polished metallic inner chapter ring for reading the minutes directly. You'll also note, and I'll back off the minutes hand a bit to show this to better effect, that a great deal of the caliber 988 is visible on the dial side. You can see the AM/PM sapphire disc that's cued to the second time zone, as well as the date jumper system that jumps directly from the 31st to the 1st in the course of one night so as not to block the tourbillon. Well, where is the second time zone? And how does that date jumper system work? Let's go to school on both. Now you can see you can hide that reference time zone, which is cued to the AM/PM disc, when you don't want it, and you can clean up the dial of the watch, turning it into effectively a single time. But we want to move everything through the date change, and we want to demonstrate how that immense 90-degree date jump across the bottom of the dial works. In the course of a single night, it completely clears the tourbillon bridge, so you'll never have a compromised view of the mechanism. The balance is an immense one, with an inertia of 11.5 milligrams per centimeter squared, and I should say that that's up there with some of the biggest pocket watch style movements I've seen in wristwatch horology. That's a significant balance size for a wristwatch. Important because it's very rugged in resisting displacement that concussion or shock on the wrist may impart, but it also features a full balance bridge architecture that robustly anchors the tourbillon cage on both sides. Now, the 978 Tourbillon GMT, on which this caliber 988 is based, actually won the chronometry competition at the Museum of Horology in Lellouche, Switzerland in 2009, and it beat JLC's own Gyro Tourbillon 2 in the process. So it really harks back to the original purpose of a tourbillon, precision. This is the only application of the platinum iridium winding mass on a mainstream JLC. The system was pioneered on the Extreme Lab 1 of 2007, a watch scarcely ever seen in the wild, perhaps a few dozen made. The platinum iridium mass is denser than platinum, with unidirectional winding and ceramic bearings at center. This is the most efficient winding system Jaeger-LeCoultre has ever built, and it energizes a 48-hour power reserve. Caliber 988 is finished to a higher standard than a traditional Jaeger-LeCoultre automatic movement, though it's based on the rugged Auto Tractor sports watch automatic caliber. Every screw features black polished heads. You can see no blued screws here to hide imperfections. The edge of every bridge, either DLC blackened or 4N rose gold coated, features a rounded hand-laid mirrored anglage. This is a higher level of horology, and with an original retail price of over $90,000, that level of finish is suited to the watch. The best finished and the most complicated of the Amvox. In many ways, it's also the most desirable. You can see it and you can own it on our website.